The top contender in the women's bantamweight division, don't get it twisted. The top active competitor right now at 135 for the women is the Venezuelan vixen, Julianna Peña. Who's she going to fight next? When's she going to fight next? These are all questions that we don't have answers to. So that is why we have invited her on the show today to try to answer some of them. And she's joining us right now. Always a pleasure to talk to Julianna. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Oh, yes. A little pep in your step this morning. I like it.
A little bit, not much.
Okay. Well, thank you for having us, Julianna. Thank you for coming on, I should say. So, okay. Where to begin? You come off that big win. Speaking of UFC 200, you defeat Kat Zingano, and you're talking about Amanda Nunes. We're thinking it's getting close. Then we see Shevchenko beat Holm, and then it gets interesting. You actually came on the show, and then a report comes out that they were targeting you versus Shevchenko for UFC 205 in New York. Is this true?
I have no idea. I've never been targeting Valentina. I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm trying to pick the fights that propel me forward. I want to fight for the belt, and I want the big fights. I want to fight the best girls in the world. I want to get excited for fights. I want to, get up out of bed in the morning and think I am ready to freaking go hit the heavy bag or punch someone in the face and just picture Amanda's face on it or Ronda's face on it. If they're not saying, come fight Amanda or come fight Ronda, then, it's nothing really interests me until that.
So did they come to you with Valentina and you were like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks?
No, something like that. It's just they didn't call me and tell me, hey, you're fighting Ronda or hey, you're fighting Amanda. So I said, cool. Well, when you guys are ready for me to fight those two girls, you call me up and let me know. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fight those girls. The only fight that makes sense to me was me and Amanda both winning on UFC 200. The only logical thing and the only thing that I had in my head and that I was being told is that I'd be fighting for the title. And the biggest, hugest card in the whole world is coming up at Madison Square Garden. So that's the only place, time, and opponents that I was thinking about for that time frame. And so they didn't say that to me, or they haven't yet. I'm still waiting. I'm on idle waiting for them to change their minds. I'm ready to go. I've been training, and I'm ready to fight one of those girls. If they need me to step in and fight at Madison Square against Amanda or Ronda, let's do it, because I'm more than ready.
To the best of your knowledge, is Ronda getting the next title fight? Like, do you think that that's actually going down and that's why they didn't give you Amanda?
I don't know. I heard she's never coming back ever, so I really don't know what's going on. But, if she were to come back, I guarantee you that the fight that she would only come back for would be probably Amanda.
Right. Do you think that's not fair to do you think that's not fair to fighters like you who have been active in trying to climb the ladder?
Yeah, I think it's baloney. When Dana White announced that women were going to be fighting in the UFC, that was the same exact time that he announced that women would be fighting on The Ultimate Fighter for the first time. So I've been around from the very beginning. I've been around fighting these girls and grinding and taking this path of, not knowing who I'm going to fight as far as all the girls on The Ultimate Fighter, and then fighting everybody that they've been putting in front of me, inside the UFC octagon. So I'm the only girl that's consistently winning. And if this was a tournament format like it was on The Ultimate Fighter, I don't even know how some of these other girls are still in the tournament. They're still winning, and they're, 1-1-1 is their records, and then they're offering me to fight them when I'm like 7-0, and I've not been even beat up in a fight before. Like, some of these matchups, they just don't make any sense to me. And coming off of not only a loss, but like a no controversial loss, you got knocked the F out. You got knocked out, and then you get a title fight coming off of that. Like, I'm still scratching my head trying to piece it together. It doesn't make sense. And like I said, if this was a tournament style format, I would be the only one left standing. And so to me, it's just kind of all nonsense. In the meantime, like I said, I'm ready to go. And when that phone rings and says, hey, you're fighting Ronda or you're fighting Amanda, I'll be like, perfect.
So right now it seems like they're targeting December 30th. That's what all the talk has been surrounding as far as the date is concerned, Amanda versus Ronda. And so let's say that fight happens then, and we're only, early October, and then the person has to wait 3, 4, 5 months to the winner. Like, are you ready to and willing to sit out for that long?
I'm ready to fight the big fights. I'm ready to fight for the whole enchilada, all the marbles, the big yellow banana. I want it all. So I'm ready to go when that fight comes. And until then, maybe I'll get ants in the pants. But in the meantime, I'm just ready to fight the best girls in the world and ready to show the world why I'm the best fighter in the world.
Is it a little deflating to have now won 7 in a row? And I like the fact that you always bring up the other 3 fights in the Ultimate Fighter, because those are real fights. Like, it's crazy that those aren't considered real fights against real top fighters. I mean, you can make the case that in the recent history of the Ultimate Fighter, that was the toughest road to a title fight, just because those weren't, unknown fighters. Those were all ranked, very strong fighters. Anyhow, is it deflating that you go through that kind of run and you're still kind of left in limbo?
Yeah, it is, because girls that were on the Ultimate Fighter for the 115-pound division walk away with the belt, a 115-pound strap. Girls that were coaches on the Ultimate Fighter got to fight twice for the strap. There's girls that I beat on the Ultimate Fighter that other girls in the division didn't sign up to go onto the Ultimate Fighter. They could have gone on the Ultimate Fighter. They could have signed up for that tournament, but they didn't. I'm the only female that could have won that tournament at that time. And so for these girls to beat other girls that didn't get past me on the Ultimate Fighter, they go to split decisions with these girls, and then they get title shots. To me, it's just baffling. I don't understand it. I don't understand why these girls keep getting these hand-picked fights against JV competition. It makes no sense to me, and I don't know how much more I can make it clear that I am the only girl in the division that is unbeaten. I'm the only girl that's fought in a hell of a lot more people than anybody else has fought and still not got a title shot. So it's like they want me to win 9-0 and then get a title shot, where the rest of these girls are 0-1 or 1-1 and 1-1 and still getting title shots. These records, they don't make sense to me. It's almost like a popularity contest, and clearly I'm not winning on that end. But I definitely know that I am the best fighter out there right now, and I definitely know that I'm a nightmare matchup for any of these girls. So if any of them want to prove themselves and test themselves against the best female fighter in the world, I'm right here and I'm waiting and I'm ready to go. If your name is Amanda Nunes or Ronda Rousey and you'd like to fight a girl named Julianna Peña, then sign up, because I'm right here.
And so you're in Chicago right now, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're training there, right? You're with your coach?
Yes, sir.
Is it hard?
Yes, sir.
Is it hard to get up? And where do you get the motivation when you're left in limbo?
Oh man, I get motivation all the time. I literally every day somebody sends me some inspirational video, or they'll tell me how much they believe in me. They'll write me poems. They'll send me flowers. I have some of the best fans in the world that truly are dedicated to my journey and are dedicated to making sure that I get the title shot and that I'm fighting the best fights out there for myself. And those people are the ones that keep me going. Aside from that, God, I can't show you or tell you about a more dedicated fighter than me. I've had my arm broken in a fight, and I kept fighting and told them to put that arm back in for round 3 and let's go again. I've been hit by a car and I went and fought again. I actually fought that fight that I got my arm broken in, and I kept fighting. I tore my knee out, 4 out of 5 ligaments, got hit and ran over by a car, was knocked out, and then I kept fighting. I've gone through so much adversity. I feel like I came back after tearing 4 out of 5 ligaments in my knee in a year and a couple months. That's unheard of. That's in no other professional sport, not football, not basketball, nothing. Have they been able to come back in that amount of time and still be competing at the highest level? I have a sheer determination inside of my heart and inside of my soul to be the best that I can be. And I don't want any time to go by and me sit there and say, oh, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm living out all those things that I want to do now. And now's my time. Now's my time to grind. And, I want to get excited for big fights. I don't want to, get excited for fights that I feel insulting. And so, I'm ready for the big guys. I'm ready for the big guns. I'm ready for the big shows. I'm ready for the big money fights. I'm ready for the title fight. I'm ready to fight the big names, and I'm ready to take what's mine. And I think that determination myself is something that drives me, and it's not going to stop until I get what I want. I can promise you it is not going to stop until I get what I want.
And to be clear, you feel like the Valentina offer is insulting?
Yeah, who is that?
Is that a rhetorical question?
I don't know. Is that girl that's 1-1-1?
Right.
Is that girl that keeps getting split decisions and has never finished a fly? What has she done in the division? I want to know what exactly I've done. You think about putting her up against Misha or Kat. You think she's going to escape those ones and get out of those fights alive? Like, forget about it. Who is this chick?
She told MMA Fighting last week, I agreed, I signed my part, but then we got information that Julianna Peña is trying to escape. She doesn't want to fight me.
I don't give a shit, Ariel. I really don't. She needs to fight me.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
Does nothing for me. Oh, you beat a girl and now you're still undefeated? Oh, okay, now you can get a title shot? You mean after beating her, then I'll be ready for a title shot? Like, give me a fucking break.
You have a pretty good relationship with Sean Shelby and Dana White. Did you express this to them? And if so, what did they say back?
Yeah, no, I have. It's getting to a point where it's like I don't want to offend or get, too crazy, because the way that I feel, it's like I'm so hot that I don't want to appear any more psycho than I am, and that's what's going to happen if I go get in their face and start popping off about how I really feel. So they know what I want. They know that I don't need to be popping off to be all crazy to get what I want. So I think we'll just have to wait and find out. And when Princess Spoiled Ronda makes her moves, then I'll be at more liberty to say what's going to happen with me and what I'm going to do. But until then, I'm not jumping until she jumps.
Did you get any kind of sense that like they have a deadline that they need to know? Because it's already October. I mean, we're not at the deadline yet, but did they say, okay, let us see what's going on, Ronda, and then we'll get back to you? Or did they give you a definitive...
I don't talk about that. That's business that I leave to my management. I just train. I come to the gym. I show up, 3 times a day, and I do my job in the gym and do everything on the mat. And that's all I need to be doing. I'll let, the management side handle all that other fancy stuff. Can
I throw an idea out your way? If it's not...
please, yeah.
Okay, I think we would agree that Ronda Rousey is the biggest fight in the division in terms of like name recognition and what can happen if you win and all that stuff, even though she's not the champ at this time. But you can make a very strong case that after Ronda, the next biggest women's fight out there is Cris Cyborg. Do you have any interest in fighting her?
I mean, if I'm the champion, yeah. Otherwise, it's just like, ugh.
Why is it like that?
I don't know. Why'd you laugh?
Well, just your reaction is a funny I mean, I've never gotten that answer.
Why are you laughing, Ariel? Why? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I mean, that is...
Don't get me started on that chick, okay? Please. Don't get me started.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, that's apples and oranges, okay? We're talking about the 135-pound women's bantamweight division, the division that I'm in.
Okay. So you're not interested in like a Superfight 140, something like that?
Like I said, when the strap's around my waist, yeah, I'll be able to handpick all my fights like the rest of those freaking cans do, and then I'll be able to figure out, who I want to fight after that. And obviously, that would be a big, huge super fight. So, yeah, it will interest me when that time comes. In the meantime, I'm trying to focus on what's in front of me. And these girls, they don't want to fight me, and they don't want to give up their belt, and I don't blame them. Yeah, do you feel like this is all just a bad case of bad luck in the sense that, like, the timing with Ronda, like, if 200 was a couple months earlier, you would have been the one fighting for the belt or something like that, but now with her impending return, that it's delaying your stuff? Or do you feel like there's a reason why they don't want to give you the title shot? Well, I just feel that like with the people that I've fought, and you know what I mean, like Jessica Ai, you beat Jessica Ai, you get a title shot. That's happened with Misha. You beat Kat Zingano, you get a title shot. Misha couldn't beat her, so then Zingano fought Nunes and beat her, and then she got a title shot. You know what I mean? I beat Kat Zingano, I beat Jessica I beat, girls like Shayna Baszler, who other girls have beaten Shayna Baszler, and they gotten title shots. I've beaten these girls, and they've all gotten title shots. I'm the only one that hasn't. So it baffles me, and it might be bad luck, it might be bad timing. I think it's always been the Ronda Rousey show, and everyone else is just subject to whatever she decides and wants to do. So she says she's coming back. We'll see about that. And when she does, thank God, I guess, because obviously the fans want to see her and I want to fight her. But I can guarantee you when she does come back, she's not going to want anything to do with me. She hasn't wanted anything to do with me from the very beginning when she said that I didn't deserve to breathe the same air as another human being, So this girl, I make her so uncomfortable. I remember in Australia, I was sitting in the room where they sign all the posters and do all the, pre-fight check weigh-ins and stuff like that, right? When you arrive during fight week, and she saw me, she took one look at me, and she said she wanted to vacate the area as soon as possible so that she could do her signings and have them bring everything up into her hotel room and have them do all the check-ins and stuff inside her hotel room instead of her have to be downstairs and around, people like me. So the girl has been avoiding me from day one. And if she does come back, I guarantee you she's going to avoid me some more. She doesn't want to fight me.
Didn't you just have a dream about her recently?
That's funny that you said that. I did have a dream about her, Ariel. Yeah, it was crazy. She showed up to my house with a bouquet of flowers and a balloon, a coffee mug, and an envelope. And I dropped the coffee mug. It shattered. I don't remember what it said, but she said, "Congratulations, I'll see you in Germany." And I remember she walked away, and I was like, "Hey, well, you came all this way. Let's go get a drink." And she said, "No, I'll let you know," is what she told me. But I remember the balloons and the flowers got tied up in this tree that was in front of my parents' yard, and the envelope was in my hands as she was walking away. And right as I was, turning the envelope over to, open it to see what it said on the inside, I woke up.
Oh.
It's crazy.
What do you think it all means?
I don't know. Hopefully she knows how ridiculous it is that she's coming off of a knockout and gets a title shot right away. So maybe she's like, maybe I'll fight Julianna, who without a title, and give her that fight and then go fight. And then the winner, because she's being fair, will get the title shot after that.
What's a bigger deal to you, fighting Ronda next or fighting for the belt next?
I've been wanting to reintroduce Ronda back into the division for a very long time. I would love to fight Ronda Rousey for sure. That girl's been needing a beating and a beat down from me for since 2013 actually. So I would love that fight.
That's when the show was, right?
Yes, sir.
And I kind of feel like there was a lost opportunity when you guys were in Atlanta in the same van with Derek Lewis, you and Amanda Nunes. There was some magic there, right? I mean, that footage in its own right could get you the title fight, I feel like.
Oh, well, what do you want me to turn around and be like, "Hey, fight me, you dumb broad"? You know what I mean? I would. I can get real ghetto, trust me. I don't know. She knows that I want to fight her. She herself has said several times that she would like to fight me when she knows Ronda's coming back or not coming back. The only question to me is nobody else waited for Ronda to come back and they put their belt on the line. So why are you? If you think you're the best in the world, and you want to get a payday with Ronda, put your payday right here real quick with me and then go fight Ronda afterwards.
Right.
But she can't. She doesn't have enough confidence in herself to make that type of bet. She doesn't believe in herself as a fighter to put it all out on the line like that. I, on the other hand, am. I'm willing to put up all my title for the first ever female Ultimate Fighter. I'm willing to put up my undefeated record and be the only unbeaten girl in the UFC to be taking on these big, massive fights and putting it all on the line out there. Nobody else is willing to do that besides me. So, I don't really know what to say. I keep saying the same thing over and over, and I am the force to be reckoned with in this women's bantamweight division. And like I said, I'm not going to stop until I get what I want.
I'll tell you this much. No one cuts a promo like Julianna Peña in that division. I mean, you have no equal as far as that is concerned.
Well, I just am speaking pure facts,
no, I know.
Ariel. If you look up at the stats, if you look in the division with who the rest of these girls have fought in to get title shots, girls that I have beaten and not gotten title shots, their paths have been so much more easier than my path has been. I have had the hardest path, and yet I'm still going in there, and I'm still fighting. I'm getting thrown on my head and fighting through adversity. I'm a real fighter, plain as day. I know how to fight, and I know that.
Did you
what
say
these other girls are doing is a question. I don't know.
Did you say any of that to Amanda? Did you guys have any interaction in that van?
No, none, except that everyone else thought it was real awkward, and I was like, I'm fine. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Cool, I'm chill. I had no, everyone else was on pins and needles, but I was chilling, like, this is a nice Escalade.
Wow. And even after, like, you guys were literally together the whole, like, in that VIP area. I saw you there. She was with Nina, and Derek was kind of around you guys. Like, there was no run-ins, there was no incidents, there was no even interaction between you two?
No, she has, her whole clan around her, like 30-something chicks or something like that. I don't know. I'm there by myself walking around like I own the place like I always do. So, I mean, if anyone was uncomfortable, it was them. It was not me.
Really? So the 30 were more uncomfortable than the lone wolf?
Oh, yeah. I'm a total lone wolf, and I always have been, and that's the way I prefer it.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like, you cannot trust too many people. I'm a little paranoid in that aspect. I know who my friends are. I know who has my best interests and who's real and who's not. And, I'm not interested in playing fakey little, ooh, I love you too, girl. Like, nah, not about it. Not trying to do the whole fake thing. If I had, if I wanted to be fake, maybe I could have, been nicer or said something like, something that I thought was true, but there was nothing like that. It's not like I thought her shoes were super cute or that her hair looked nice, so I'm not going to say anything like that. It's not like I thought that her fight career has been super impressive, because I don't think that's true either,
Right.
She looked good against Miesha Tate one time. That was probably the only time I've ever seen her look good. So congratulations for that. I think I congratulated her when I was commentating for her fight and said, hey, yeah, good job. That was great. But I'd like to see her try to do that to me. And she doesn't want anything to do with that. She wants to wait for the big money fight. So we'll see how that goes. And
let's end on this. Speaking of commentating, you're commentating for Combate Americas. You're the color commentator, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yes.
I'm going to be in New York City on the 11th.
The 11th, and Matt Hamill is headlining that card, so that's pretty cool. How did you get this job?
They asked for a fiery Latina that knows how to commentate for mixed martial arts, and I said, hey, that sounds right up my alley. Sign me right up. And I actually got the gig, and I've been doing it ever since. It's such a great promotion. Campbell McLaren is an amazing, extraordinary man. I'm working with some fine people over there at Combate Americas. And they also got a big title fight coming up. Gustavo Lopez versus John Sexy Mexi Castaneda.
Oh, yeah.
Fighting for the title. So it's their first title shot. And that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to commentate that fight. And like you said, UFC vet Matt Hamill, he's going to be on the card as well, headlining.
Now, are you like, were you someone that always wanted to do TV work, or did you just see this opening, do it, and now have fallen in love with it?
Yeah, my sister, Cris Peña, she's always been like an amazing role model to me. She was the weather girl. She now works for Microsoft over in Seattle. And she was doing, Xbox work. She was, the little girl that pops up on Xbox Live that says, hey, this is the new game coming out and, buy this game. But before that, she was doing the weather. So she's kind of been, my role model as far as the entertainment aspect side goes to this thing. And she's always been very encouraging for me. When your fighting career is over, you're going to have to put your foot in the door as far as other avenues go in the industry. And God, I got the gift of gab. I swear to God, I could talk forever and ever and ever and ever. And I think that talking about mixed martial arts and commentating these fights is something that I'm super passionate about. It almost comes so naturally and easily to me that it's fun. I would do it for free. I would do it in general. It's just something that I'm very passionate about and love to do. And so it's definitely something that I'm interested in doing in the future along with fighting. Absolutely.
Well, I think you do a great job. And I'm looking forward to your call. That is October 14th, right, at the Turning Stone Casino in Verona.
Yes.
I've been to the Turning Stone. Have you been to the Turning Stone before?
No, I've only been to that the center part, Madison downtown in the center.
Okay. Well, this isn't exactly New York City.
Times Square. The only place I've been to is Times Square.
Right. This is outside of New York City, but I mean it's in New York State, which I think is significant enough, and it's on UFC Fight Pass, by the way.
Yes, the Empire Rising.
Yes,
is going to be the show to watch.
All right. Well, I look forward to that. Great stuff, Julianna. I appreciate you coming on and giving your side of things and making your case once again. And I hope it all works out for you. I sincerely do.
Thank you so much, Ariel. I really appreciate your time, and you guys just keep looking out for me and catch me on Fight Pass on October 14th for Combate, and watch that show because it's going to be amazing.
All right. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
There she is, the Venezuelan vixen herself, Julianna Peña. She is a very good commentator. Check it out on UFC Fight Pass on October 14th. Combate Americas.